What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Today, we don't got a video. We got an early bird live stream as the Eagles just traded for a quarterback. Yes, the Vikings quarterback, backup quarterback, I should say. NFL breaking news. Vikings trading quarterback Sam Howell plus a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Eagles for a 2026 fifth-round pick plus a 2027 seventh-round pick via Tom Pelissero, Ian Rappaport, and, of course, Adam Schefter. I ain't mad at the deal. Why would we want a quarterback, you may be thinking? Because DTR is getting cut and Kyle McCord is not ready. Now, again, DTR needs to be cut. He's been in the league for a while, and he absolutely looked horrible versus the Browns. It's only one game, but the Eagles must have not saw anything good from him in practice, or they would have let him try to play quarterback versus the Jets in the preseason finale. All that being said, Kyle McCord, a rookie, will eventually put it together in Philly, or he will suffer the same fate as DTR and other quarterbacks around the NFL. Cut. But he's not ready. And you might be thinking, who cares? We have the best backup quarterback in the NFL in Tanner McKee. But right now, Tanner McKee's finger is hurt. I don't know the extent to the hurt finger. There was no reports that it was broken. But right now, Tanner McKee can't go. If tomorrow we had to play football, which we don't, but it's closing in. Preseason finale's done. Training camp is done. The NFL opener on September 4th is coming. Knock on fake wood. But if something happens to Jalen Hurts in week one, even if it's for a quarter or two, Kyle McCord will be in the game. He's a rookie, so I ain't going to be hard on him. But I seen somebody saying in the chat, McCord looked trash, and he did not play well at all in the preseason. And again, he's a rookie. It's his first time playing in the pros. I understand that. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt by calling him a rookie. But what we saw versus the Bengals in the fourth quarter, a bunch of overthrows. What we saw versus the Browns, okay, a touchdown to Anaya Smith. But the defense is what got us down there pretty much in a run game. Same with the Jets. We could barely sustain drives. The run game is really what was doing it, and the 3 turnovers. Sam Howell is not a starting caliber quarterback anymore, although he did carve up the Eagles' defense twice while being the Washington Commanders' starting quarterback. Sam Howell is not a starting caliber quarterback. He'll never be one in the league anymore. But can Sam Howell win a game if needed? Probably. He's won games against the Cowboys. He's won games for Washington. Sam Howell is not like competition for QB2. There's not a quarterback in the league that can come to Philly and be ranked over Tanner McKee as QB2. Unless he's a starting caliber quarterback that just wants to volunteer his services to be a backup. However, it makes sense. Tanner McKee's finger's hurt. We don't know the extent. If QB1, which is Jalen Hurts, misses time as early as week 1 for any reason, knock on fake wood, we not trying to put Kyle McCord in. What? So I like it. And for those just tuning in, I go by Philly Mike, just the Philly Talk Podcast. Hit the like button. The like button is free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing, and it's greatly appreciated. It lets other Eagle fans find the show. For those just tuning in, the Vikings trading quarterback Sam Howell plus a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Eagles for a 2026 fifth-round pick plus a 2027 seventh-round pick. So pretty much we give up a 6 in 2026. Hold on. We give up a 5th in 2026 and a 7th in 2027 for Sam Howell and a 6th. So our 5th round pick in 2026 turns to a 6th, and we gave up a 2027 7th round pick for quarterback Sam Howell. And he'll never be, like I said, in conversations to win the starting job. I mean, the QB2 job. He's just insurance until Tanner McKee's finger gets better. Because right now, if something happened, if Jalen Hurts had the sniffles, let's just say that, because we're not talking about anything crazy to, QB1. The only guy on the roster is Kyle McCord, and this man is not ready. Definitely not ready. And DTR needs to find a new job. Simple and plain. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. I want to hear what y'all got to say as well. But that's my full thoughts. It's nothing crazy breaking news. It is breaking news because it just happened. But it's insurance until Tanner McKee, the best quarterback 2 in the NFL, is healthy. The weird thing about the injury report is they said that Kyle McCord's finger, they said his finger, but they never gave us the extent. We don't know if it was dislocated, broken, stuff. I don't even know. And that's weird. Normally they would give us more. And what really can happen to a finger? Like, this trade lets me know that the finger is an issue. It's August 24th. We still got a week and some change until the Eagles opener versus the Cowboys. If the finger is going to take another week or two to heal, maybe more, then it got to be what do you do to the finger? I ain't a doctor, but what do you do to the finger? The funny thing is, since the Minnesota Vikings traded Sam Howell to the Eagles, which is their backup quarterback, guess who their new backup quarterback is? Their new backup quarterback is none other than Carson Wentz, which is not, it's just a funny story going around. Ian Rappaport said the Vikings are now signing quarterback Carson Wentz, per him and Tom Pelissero, after a successful workout over the weekend, a new backup for J.J. McCarthy. And it's funny, though, because they send us their backup quarterback, and then they sign Carson Wentz. Look, you could be saying, well, why didn't the Eagles just sign Carson Wentz? No. That just physically can't happen. With everything that's transpired over the years, that could not happen. Again, Carson Wentz, Sam Howell, kind of the same person, I guess. A veteran quarterback or somebody that you could use in a pinch. Once again, I honestly think that they're going to stash Kyle McCord on the practice squad, and Sam Howell will ride the bench, the third string bench, once Tanner McKee is healthy. But it's weird that we never got an update on that finger to what the extent of the injury was. Mike L with the $5 super chat. Appreciate the love and support, my guy. He said, good Lord. I love Howie. But sign Samuel Jr. or Gilmore. We can't wait till week 3 to panic sign. I'm with you, Mike. And listen, we saw breaking news a week or so ago. And we saw breaking news a week ago, and it was John Mechie. I said, huh? A wide receiver? But then Johnny Wilson got hurt. Okay, Howie. And now I wake up to, when I don't wake up, I've been up this morning, not no 10 o'clock wake up kind of guy. However, breaking news, Eagles signed Sam Howell, a quarterback? I saw the B and skipped over the Q, and I thought it said cornerback, not quarterback. I'm with you. We just what's going on? And the crazy thing is, we also signed in linebackers. Now, of course, the linebackers probably going to be a body. Was a body for the Jets game, and he'll probably be cut. I'm talking about Chance Campbell or whatever. But man, like what as Mike just told us so beautifully, good Lord, I love Howie, but sign Samuel Jr. or Gilmore. He didn't say trade. He said sign because they're sitting on the shelf. It's one thing if they were on a roster and you had to trade to give up capital. They're chilling. And yes, Samuel Jr. is more a young guy who, if he's healthy, can maybe grow with the Eagles too. Cool. But Gilmore is the perfect 1 year rental. He will give you what Slay gave us last year. And even if Jacorian Bennett wins the job, say you sign Gilmore and Bennett wins the job, cool. But this is football, for goodness sakes. Injuries happen. Bro, if Adoree Jackson or Jacorian Bennett get hurt right now, you know who goes in? Dun-dun-dun. Philly Mike's favorite, Keely Ringo. Oh, Lord. I'm with you, Mike, 100% on that. It's all good and dandy shoring up the quarterback 3/2 spot simply because Tanner McKee's injury. So I do think this is a good signing. Sam Howell to the Eagles is a good trade. A good trade because of what is going on to Tanner McKee. Now, some of y'all in the chat are saying Tanner McKee's going to be traded because of this. No. Unless somebody's about to offer us a first-round pick. If somebody would offer Howie Roseman a first-round pick, maybe he would pull the trigger because Howie loves first-round picks. He got Jalen Carter from a first-round pick. He got Quinyon Mitchell from a first-round pick. Devontae Smith from a first-round pick. Nolan Smith from a first-round pick. Jordan Davis from a first-round pick. So, again, there's people in the chat right now who probably say Tanner McKee is the best backup in football. I'm not even trading for a first-round pick because if Hurts does get hurt, you need a quality back to at least fill in for a game or 2 or 3. I agree. But a first-round pick definitely makes my eyes pop open. I don't think this is, Tanner McKee's going to be traded because we got Sam Howell. I think it's we don't know the extent of the finger injury. It could be on his throwing hand, and we not ready to play Kyle McCord. Now, again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong to trade Tanner McKee if we're talking a first-round pick. Can you imagine another first-round stud on this team? Extra? That's actually contributing? Tanner can only contribute if QB1 is hurt. So the only way he gets in is if we're already in a negative capacity for this team because QB1 is QB1. You got to come correct if you're going to call for Tanner McKee. He's already low-key beloved in Philly. I believe he's the best backup in the game. This, to me, is just insurance until he gets healthy. That's my take on that. But I do see in the chat that some people are saying McKee goes nowhere this year. I'm with you, Slagger. But then I also see in the chat McKee for a cornerback too from Max. And I also see people saying both things. Again, you would have to really entice Howie, but I don't think Tanner McKee goes anywhere. I think the Eagles always treated the quarterback position differently than the rest of the NFL. Once upon a time, and maybe we still are, a quarterback factory. So I look at it like, did I miss a super? I look at it like McKee's injured. DTR is about to be cut. Kyle McCord ain't ready. Howie don't want to take a chance that if Jalen does miss a game or two early in the season, we're throwing out Kyle McCord. So we go out and sign Sam Howell, which I think we didn't sign him, we traded for him, which I think is a good trade. Again, the Vikings give us Sam Howell and a 2026 sixth-round pick. And we give them a 2026 fifth-round pick plus a 2027 seventh-round pick. So when you look at it, here, take our 2026 sixth round. Take our 2026 fifth-round pick and give us your six. So we drop 1 round back in 2026 and we get Sam Howell for 2027. Seventh round pick. I know a lot of people are thinking about this. And honestly, when Tanner McKee started to show everybody that he got ice in the veins, I've already did previous videos on what Bold Brew just said. Saints may make a move for Tanner McKee. And you might think, why the Saints? Let's think. They need a quarterback. Tanner got ice in his veins. And who is the head coach for the New Orleans Saints? The Eagles' former OC, who saw him in practice, who's seen him versus the Cowboys, who's seen him versus the Giants, who was probably watching the game versus the Bengals and said, Lordy, Lordy, Lord, I could win games with Tanner McKee. But if the Saints come calling, you know how he gonna milk them for everything they got. Saints don't like to call Howie Roseman. Oh, when them Saints come calling in, Howie Roseman always wins. Oh, how he wants to. Oh, when them Saints come calling in. I'm trying to tell you, let the Saints pick up the phone on some, can we talk about Tanner? Howie's going to be like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because if you talk about Tanner, you going to pay the price. You're going to pay the price. But I like the trade. Nothing crazy because look, in a perfect world, Jalen Hurts is healthy for all 17 games. Then we don't care about Sam Howell, and we actually never see Tanner McKee. In a perfect world, we don't see Tanner McKee or Sam Howell. In a perfect world, we see only Jalen Hurts all the way to the Super Bowl. But thank you, Vikings. Once upon a time, the Vikings took Sam Darnold off our hands, and they just reinsured us that if we do have a hiccup with health for QB1 in the first week, second week, third week, we don't got to throw out the rookie Kyle McCord. We have a decent backup. That's the only word I can put alongside of Sam Howell's name is decent. We got a corner number 2? What? You made me think that we traded for a corner for a second. King, I think you meant to say we need to get a corner, which I agree with. The Eagles could use a corner for sure. Eagle Nest said, yo, I'm late. What I missed? Let me read it one more time for you. The Vikings trading quarterback Sam Howell plus a 2026 sixth-round pick to the Eagles for a 2026 fifth-round pick plus a 2027 seventh-round pick. So the Eagles got a new quarterback. And Eagle Nest, if you think this is because I don't know, again, I'm not here to tell you that there's no way the Eagles will trade Tanner McKee, because that could be a possibility if what they're offering is eye-opening. It would have to be eye-opening to get Tanner out of Philly. Sam Howell is the third-string quarterback. However, we don't know the full extent of the finger of Tanner McKee. If Jalen Hurts needs to go into the tunnel to take a deuce, and he don't come back until it's a bad one, right? He don't come back until, 5 minutes into the third quarter. Do we want to see Kyle McCord out there? It's pretty much to me, in case of a QB1 injury in the first couple weeks, do you want to see Sam Howell out there or Kyle McCord? What we saw from Kyle McCord shows that he's not ready. Absolutely not ready. Again, I think half of y'all believe that we signed Sam Howell as QB3, who will be QB2 until Tanner McKee gets healthy. But some of y'all still think that the Eagles will trade Tanner McKee. And I'm not saying it's impossible. I've been on that road, not necessarily saying we should trade him, but it's a possibility if a team comes calling with a high price. Jason Suma with the $2 super chat. Do you think we should trade for Trey Hendrickson? I'll never say not to trade for a playmaker like Trey Hendrickson. I just don't think it's in the realm of possibility with what we need to do with some of these young guys' contracts, like Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis coming up. I'm talking in the future, in the upcoming years. I don't think it's super feasible. But if you ask me, Philly Mike, who analytically and fan-wise, would I like Trey Hendrickson on his team? Hell yeah. That's a 30-sack guy in the last 2 years, 30-plus sack guy in the last 2 years. I would love him to be on the edge, helping out Nolan, Jalix, and not allowing double teams to Jalen Carter in the middle. I would love it. I don't know if it's feasible, but I would. Again, our motto as Philly fans we have had the luxury of, who cares about the money? We got Howie Roseman. Other GMs, other NFL fans can't say that. They got to consider the money and the realm of possibility of their GM utilizing that money. With Howie, even when I think something is kind of not feasible, it's feasible because of Howie Roseman. So, Jason, appreciate the love and support, my guy. And I would do it. I mean, listen, I'm a shoot first, ask question later kind of guy. You know what I mean? And if you tell me we can upgrade the defense, I'm going to upgrade the defense, and I'm going to worry about the money later. We in a run it back season. How many teams? All right, look, there's been 59 Super Bowls, right? So there's teams that won Super Bowls. There's been 59 Super Bowl winning teams. Some of them have multiple Super Bowls, which the Eagles are a team with multiple Super Bowls. But think about all the teams that have more than one Super Bowl. How many of them won back-to-back Super Bowls? Think about it. It's a handful of teams. There's not more than 5 teams in the league that have won back-to-back Super Bowls. That is elite company to be in. And it just, winning back-to-back Super Bowls, it's not easy. Because to win back-to-back Super Bowls, first, you got to get to the Super Bowl and win the first one. And then do it again. Not a couple years later, the very next year when everybody's gunning for you. So shout out to the Patriots and the Chiefs who've done it. I want to be one of them teams that do it. Again, winning the Super Bowl is great. Having multiple Super Bowls is great. There's some teams that don't even have a Super Bowl out there. But I'm telling you right now, yes, we want to plan for 2026 and 7 and 28. I understand that. But what we could do in 2025, we won't be able to do again in 2026, which means, yeah, we could win a Super Bowl in 2026. But if we don't win it in 2025, it's another Super Bowl, which is a great thing. But it's not a back-to-back champion, which is crazy. Shout out to Carlos Rosado with the $5 super chat. Mike, to be honest, I just pray we have no major or detrimental injuries because that's the key. Birds will be on track by week 5 or 6, flying high. We gonna be all right. Muscle up. I agree. But this is why we made this trade. Again, some people in the chat believe we made this trade just in case a team calls for Tanner McKee and we go ahead and move him for the right price. I'm not saying if that's the right idea or the wrong idea. That's what some people are saying, and I hear you. Because if the price is right, like Bob Barker says, I mean, the price is right. I don't know what to tell you. However, as Carlos just said with the $5 banger, he prays we have no major or detrimental injuries. And a quarterback injury early in the season is major, it's detrimental. I hope we don't have it. Best case scenario, we don't ever see any backup quarterback go in the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. However, if Tanner McKee is not going to be traded, he's automatically quarterback 2, even with Sam Howell here. However, if his finger is worse than what is being reported, then week 1, week 2, week 3, if an injury did happen, it's good to have a decent guy back there instead of a rookie who looked crazy in the preseason. But I'm with Carlos. Muscle up. We Philly strong. And that's the backbone of anybody getting and winning a Super Bowl is health is wealth. Health is wealth. Absolutely. I saw something I wanted to see in here. He's talking to something, but a statue quarterback that has no threat to one would not succeed in this offense, bro. The offense was built around Jalen Hurts. That's why it works. I like that. But we watched Tanner McKee sling the rock. Well, hold on. Are you saying Tanner McKee can't? Tanner McKee beat the starting Giants defense, throwing the ball to Dallas Goedert for a quarter and Jahan Dotson. Tanner McKee only did it in a small sample size. Again, it's not hard we got a new play caller in Kevin Petula, but it's not hard to just change yes, the offense is built around Jalen Hurts. The RPO, pistol, okay, that's cool. But it's not hard for a couple games or to just be like, okay, let's call some under center. Let's call some straight up shotguns. Let's hand the ball off to 2-6. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts is a big reason why this Eagles team is who they are. I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts. But I don't know if you're talking about Sam Howell, Tanner McKee. I kind of just jumped into y'all conversation. Not really sure. He said somebody said most quarterbacks would succeed in this offense. No, that I agree is a false statement. Tanner McKee, and to be honest, Tanner McKee, over a long period of time, teams are going to figure out how to defend him. That's because he can't run. I hear you on that for sure. In today's game, you look at all the guys. Like 10, 20 years ago, everybody was a statue. Now, everybody can move. Honestly, Tanner McKee actually got a little super mini wiggle to him, right? Sam Howell has some wiggle to him. All the white quarterbacks now even have a little wiggle to them. Like Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers. They ain't really have no wiggle at all. I mean, yeah, I'm getting a little over that. Tanner ain't really running. But again, it's definitely an element that defenses don't have to worry about, for sure. And a lot of people get figured out. Look at CJ. Look. I can't wait to see Jaden Daniels. Now, again, Jaden Daniels can run, had one of the best rookie seasons for a quarterback. But I want to see Jaden Daniels in year 2, simply because we saw what CJ Stroud did. We saw so many of these guys have really good years and then not come back with that same year right away, because people do figure out, even if you got the element of running on your side. But I hear you on that, Shaq. For sure. Q44 said, is Kyle staying as quarterback 3 or is he gone? My guess would be this. DTR is cut. Kyle McCord is going to be on the practice squad. Let that rookie grow a little bit because he needs to grow. He had a really, really rough preseason. So my guess is this. DTR cut. Kyle McCord on the practice squad. Sam Howell, quarterback 3. Tanner McKee, quarterback 2. Jalen Hurts, quarterback 1. But with McKee dealing with a finger injury, if something happens to rare breed, hashtag Jalen Hurts, and Tanner can't go in early in the season for a quarter or two or whatever we need him for, we have Sam Howell because that boy Kyle McCord just not ready. Philly 416 said, great move. I like Sam Howell with the competent O-line. He could tear it up. I won't take him over Tanner McKee, but again, if something happens early on, I'm with you on that too. Remember, listen, when he was playing with the Commanders, they weren't really right, and he had a couple games. Like Sam Howell's that quarterback where one game he looked good, and the next game he looked bad. But he did slice up the Eagles defense twice. Boy had like 600 yards passing in 2 games versus the Eagles defense in like 2023. Let me take a sip of this water. Let me ask y'all this. I want to see where the chat is with 856 people in here. First of all, hit the like button. It's greatly appreciated. It helps other Eagle fans find the channel, whether we're live or dropping videos. Hit the like button. Come on, we should at least have 400 likes. If half of y'all got that Philly swag to hit the like button, we should have at least 400. But let me ask the chat this. Do you believe we traded for Sam Howell? Because, let me restate it. I really want y'all to answer. Do you believe we traded for Sam Howell to be quarterback 3 and maybe quarterback 2 until Tanner McKee gets healthy? Or do we trade for Sam Howell because we're thinking about trading Tanner McKee for some good compensation? Not saying that Sam Howell's better than Tanner McKee, but do you think that Howie's trying to get some good compensation while he can for Tanner McKee and is going to use Sam Howell as QB2? Or did he just sign Sam Howell in case an injury happens in the first couple weeks and Tanner's finger's not ready? Is it insurance for Tanner McKee's finger or to get something good for Tanner McKee? Let me know, because I see as the chat was going, I see some people saying that, some people saying agreeing with my original statement. First one says trading Tanner McKee. I'm awake said, nah, he's quarterback 3. Michael says QB3. About to trade Tanner McKee. Keeping Tanner says Lai the Reaper. See, Draft Junkie and Lai right next to each other, but a difference. Because of Kyle McCord. QB3. Oh, that's a spicy take. I like that. I'm not sure what take. Or he'll trade Sam Howell next season to a quarterback needing team and get his money back. Right? Trade him back, get his money back. Insurance. I think we stashed the key. Yep, I hear you. There you go. Keisha said insurance. Liam said I say trade bait for something good. Curtis said just stop. I don't know why some of y'all worried about that boy Tanner leaving. Barron said QB3 is Howell. Let's see what Shaq says since he's been dropping some gems in the chat. I think they gotta trade Tanner. I think about it for a second. When is his stock ever going to be any higher? He only going to get older. He has no regular season game film. Get up. Whoa. He does. Week 18 last year, Shaq. And that's the crazy thing. I get you saying he's never going to be hotter. He's never going to be younger. Get rid of him while he's hot. And who knows what we can get? It would have to be something really good for me to even consider it. That being said, he has game film. He carved up the Cowboys defense for a quarter, 2 touchdowns and with 6 pass attempts. But he also has the whole Giants game. And you can say the Giants are trash. And I agree with you. However, think about this. He had the Eagles' backup offensive line, backup running back, backup wide receivers. But the Giants played their starters. Week 18, since they were playing for nothing, the Giants played their starters. They could be a trash football team, but they still got starting NFL players going against Jahan Dodson. Dallas got her for a quarter. Anaya Smith, E.J. Jenkins, Darian Kinner, Brett Toth. That win from Tanner McKee was nice because he had a backup Eagles squad going against a starting Giants squad that said, give me that dub. That was good, some good-ass film. But I hear you, though, with everything else you said. He's never going to be younger and more hotter. Pause. Alex L with the $5 super chat, always showing love to the channel. He said, I'm excited to see how this roster shapes out the next couple days. Let's see if any quarterback trades are made. Go Birds. As it pertains to the cornerback position, which is on every single Eagle fan's mind, I believe, a trade would be interesting. I just seen Draft Junkie said go get Tariq Woolen. You would have to trade for Tariq Woolen. Alex L just dropped a $5 super chat talking about the roster shaping up in the next couple days and about cornerback trades. Well, Alex, let me ask you. Yeah, going out and trading for a cornerback is probably the best bet in the sense that if he was on somebody's roster, meaning he's probably decent, or he's not just decent, he's good, get a really good, a good corner. But there are 2 available options that are not even needed to be traded for, that don't need to be traded for. That is Stephon Gilmore and Asante Samuel Jr. New Jesse said, this guy said Paul's mad corny. Can't win them all. I don't say it. People come at me. I say it. People like Jesse going to talk trash. That's cool. And you sound corny for worrying about what another grown man says. What you mean, dog? But again, I do see the chat divided in the sense of some people think Tanner could be trade bait now. If it's something good on the end of that fishing, at the end of that call. But then some people think that Sam Howell's insurance. I saw somebody ask, how old is Sam Howell? Can't find it. Chat going crazy. Let's see how old Sam Howell is. Let's see. And again, the great thing about a trade like this is this. Whether he's insurance or to see what Tanner McKee can get you, I think he's staying. Who's to say that next year, if Tanner McKee stays, which I believe he will, unless the phone is ringing crazily, Sam Howell's QB3, insurance until Tanner McKee's finger's better. But then next year, as I'm Awake said, you know what? We gave up a 5th for a 6th and a free 7th in 2027. Okay. Somebody gets hurt in the 2026 preseason game. Some team needs a quarterback. We're like, yo, you want Sam Howell for your backup quarterback position? Just give us a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick. So we use his services and end up getting our money back. Howie Roseman got that swag to be a money back guarantee type trade. Somebody said it in the chat. Vincent Wright, Fishing Eagle, said that Sam Howell's only 24 years old. How old's Tanner McKee? Let's see. Tanner McKee's age. 25. Sheesh. So Sam Howell is younger than Tanner McKee. Shout out to Jakia P for becoming a channel member. Appreciate the love and support. A said, why we trade for Sam Howell? Well, A, nobody honestly knows exactly why, but I think there's only two real options. And I'm going to say it again because you must have just got in here because we've been talking for 40 minutes. We traded for Sam Howell, in my opinion, for insurance. You're like, what do you mean insurance? Tanner McKee is QB2. He's probably the best backup in the NFL right now. However, he's dealing with a finger injury. We don't know the extent of the finger injury. So if QB1 goes down in week 1, 2, or 3, right now, Tanner McKee's fingers hurt. We got to put in Kyle McCord, who's not ready. Stash McCord on the practice squad. Sign Sam Howell as QB3. Insurance for QB2 until Tanner McKee's better in case of an emergency, which would be QB1 going down. That's my thought. The chat has been saying, and I've talked about it before, a team like the Saints, desperate for a quarterback. Kellen Moore knows Tanner McKee, knows what he can do. Saints pick up the phone, ask about Tanner McKee. Well, first, Howie would have to say, you better ask with a nice price. If the price is right on some Bob Barker shit, I don't think we're going to do it. But if the price is right, we trade Tanner McKee, get really good compensation, and now you still have a decent backup quarterback in Sam Howell, who should only, first of all, the only way QB2, whether it's Sam Howell, Tanner McKee, shit, I could play QB2. The only way any of us is getting on the field is if Jalen Hurts gets. You know what I mean? And I don't like to keep talking about it because I want to put bad stuff into the, you know what I mean? Not gonna fake wood. I'm gonna go to church and do all my stuff, you know what I mean? Best case scenarios, it is, we don't care who any quarterback is behind Jalen Hurts because he plays all 20 games. Like Philly Mike, there's not 20 games in the season. It is when you're going to the Super Bowl. Well, it might not be 20 because maybe this year we're going to have the first round bye. So it'll only be 19 anyways. You know what I mean? We won't be playing wild card, divisional. Oh, still be. I don't know. I can't count right now. Ben G said Hurts, McKee, Howell, DTR is going, and McCord is on the practice squad. Solve it. Ben G just summed up what I've been talking about for 43 minutes. Shout out to Ben G. Show's over. No, I'm just kidding. But that's my thoughts. CB said, what up, Mike? This was a good trade. McCord not ready. Need a veteran. Correct. And I think CB's on the same thing. Right now, we're all worried about Tanner's finger. Scene had a pick before Nickerson. What do you mean? Lewis Sign's pick came after Perry Nickerson, at least yesterday versus the Jets. Luffy said, people forget how he is a wizard. So Sam Howell being even younger than Tanner, plus him showing some flashes against us, means he's still a viable option if there is any injuries in our building. Think Kenny Pickett. I hear you. Sam Howell is a viable option for a game or two. Will he win us a Super Bowl? No. The only way we win in the Super Bowl is if Jalen Hurts is here. 20 games if you have the bye in the playoffs, 21 if you play the wild card round. All right, Rare Breed, I appreciate it. Yeah, I like that. 20. Hopefully this year we don't play 21. We don't need to play in the wild card round. We need to get that first round bye. You know what I mean? Shaq said right, but that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it was supposed to be last year. But then all of a sudden, Kenny Pickett was coming off the bench first. I think that's going to be Sam Howell this year. Yeah, Shaq's all about getting some good compensation. Good compensation for Tanner McKee. Who said that Louis Son was on crutches after the game? I didn't even know that. Who reported that? Thomas Brown said if we get a second for Tanner, we package in a deal for a big player. Probably. That default picture is crazy though. Would y'all pull the trigger for a second? For a second? DKB said, can I get a wrench? I can't really give out wrenches on StreamYard. When I'm doing my live play-by-plays, I can. If I go on my phone and click on the live, I could do it. So just a DKB, be here for the next live play-by-play, and I promise I got you with a wrench. Kevin said, trade Tanner McKee for a second rounder, bring back Kenny Pickett for our number 2, and keep Howell as our number 3. Well, if we traded Tanner McKee for a second or any pick, right? I don't think we would have to even bring back Kenny Pickett. Like, Kyle McCord as your QB3 is okay. Like, you don't need to have 3 viable options unless you just got real bad luck. Right now, if Tanner McKee's finger is not right, then you're talking Kyle McCord is your insurance back quarterback 2, which I don't think we want. You know, he's not ready. So Sam Howell trade was great. It leaves the door open. If somebody comes offering us compensation for Tanner McKee that we can utilize for somebody on this, whether it's a really good draftee or a trade veteran player who helps us win a Super Bowl. Again, I'm going to say this one more time. I rock with Tanner McKee. I don't want him to leave. But the only way Tanner McKee gets on the field is if QB1's not playing. If Tanner McKee is a reason why you have another stud playing on defense, it's going to be hard to pass up. If Tanner McKee compensation results in you getting a player who can play in 2025 on the defensive side and change the game, or a guy who can only come in if QB1 gets hurt. And I do agree, in Philly, the backup quarterback is important. You need him to win games. And Tanner McKee can come in and win games. But is Tanner McKee going to win us a Super Bowl if Jalen Hurts is not there? Doubt it. Boy got ice in his veins, but I don't know about all that. Will he win 2 or 3 games for you? I'll bet it. So Tanner McKee can win 3 or 4 games for you. Sam Howell can win 2 or 3 games for you. It's all depending on the phone call. Hold up. Howie's calling me right now. Seriously? Psych now. Let me stop. All depends on the phone call, though. We've been live for 48 minutes, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, let me see how many likes we got up on here. Y'all be chatting it up in the comment section. I'm trying to get to as many comments as possible, but I got to see if y'all at least got me to that 450 mark. You know what I mean? That's crazy. We got 900 people up in here now for the Sam Howell trade. Bruh, 371, 381 on the like. Literally, if half the people watching right now just hit the like, we can easily get over 400, probably get to about 500. Shout out to JB2859 for becoming a channel member. David, you must have just been tuning in because that's what I literally said. For the first 10, 12 minutes was what you just said. But I'm talking with the chat, but you might be talking to the chat too. You might not be talking to me directly because the chat is divided. I would say 400 people in here think that Sam Howell is insurance until McKee's finger's better as QB2/QB3 once McKee's finger's better. And the other half in here think that we could be spicing it up for a trade of Tanner McKee to get compensation while he's hot. I think it's more of insurance. I think he is trade bait. See? Right next to each other. David's again says he's only here insurance because DTR and Kyle McCord stink. And JP2859, a newest channel member, is here saying trade bait. So it should be interesting, say the least. Okay, 439 on the like button. I see how y'all work. I see how there's 439 MVP type Eagle fans in here. And I know some of y'all who probably rock with Philly Mike can't hit the like button or even comment simply because you're not like you don't have a YouTube profile or something, or you're not signed in. I bet there's some people in here who watch almost every episode of my show but can never like, comment, or nothing, even subscribe because they just don't got a YouTube profile or a sign in. Well, guess what? Make an account. It's free. And then you could talk to your boy Philly Mike and I could read your comments. See, here we go. And there's trade bait, says Riley. Shadow says trade bait most likely. And then you got, I wouldn't trade McKee at all. Listen, one thing I love about this is I don't always want y'all to agree with me. I'm not always going to agree with y'all. Sometimes y'all right. Sometimes I right. Sometimes we're both right. Sometimes we're both wrong. But we love the conversation back and forth. And as long as you give me the reasoning why you say something, I'm going to put respect on it. You know what I mean? Both, there's nobody should say that any option is 100% not realistic. Realistically, we could be only trading for Sam Howell because Kyle McCord and DTR are not ready. DTR cut, Kyle McCord practice squad, and we're worried about Tanner McKee's hand for the first couple weeks. That is a realistic possibility. But the people who are saying Tanner McKee's 25 already, got some good film out already, is the new his worth is never going to be higher. He can only get on the field if Jalen Hurts is hurt. Why not see what we could get for him? For anybody to say that is 100% not a possibility, you can't. Howie Roseman is our GM. He knows we need help on defense. Cough, cough, cornerback too. We can't say it's not a possibility. Now, again, if I had to pick, I think it's more insurance. But don't count out Howie Roseman. And it could be for both, to be honest. It could be for insurance now. But if Howie Roseman gets the right phone call can change anything. Should be interesting. Next couple days should be interesting. Should be real interesting. But shout out to Sam Howell, former Washington Commander, now new Philadelphia Eagle. The funny thing is, remember I showed y'all full circle moment, kind of, since we got the backup quarterback for the Vikings, Sam Howell. As soon as they made the trade official, the Vikings went around and signed Carson Wentz to be JJ McCarthy's backup. Lordy. Carson Wentz is back on an NFL team. Last year with the Chiefs, this year is the backup to the Vikings. That's funny. Oh, shoot. Where'd it go? What the heck? Let's go back to the NFL picture. Looks the nicest, I guess. John said, I feel better about McKee if he played more. He tore up the Bengals defense. What quality quarterback can't do that? I'd be okay trading him while his value is this high, though. I'll give you that. But, John, honestly, I think the most impressive thing we've ever saw from Tanner McKee is what he did week 18 versus the New York Football Giants. And they're not a good football team. However, let me ask you this question. Whose defense is better, the Bengals or the Giants? Giants. The Giants' defense last year was better than the defense last year, the Bengals, and probably the defense of the Bengals this year, especially without Trey Hendrickson. That being said, Tanner McKee, with backups, he threw the ball to Dallas Goedert for a quarter. But for the rest of the game, he was throwing to Jahan Dotson, E.J. Jenkins, Anaya Smith. He had the backup offensive line in front of him. He was handing the ball off to Will Shipley. And that last week against the Giants, we had our backups in, but they had their starters in. That's an impressive win. Beating the Giants starters with the backups. That was an impressive win. And I know people watch that film. If we are, though, talking about trade, and I say if, don't kill me, guys. The Saints, when them Saints come calling in. When them Saints come calling in. Kellen Moore knows Tanner, and they need a quarterback. Saints, you got to let us know what you want. Let us know. Terrell Glover, appreciate the super chat, my guy. $2 banger. He said we should pick up Shiloh since he just got waived. Interesting. Didn't even realize he got waived. I mean, I don't know. I would have liked to do that. I would wish he got waived earlier, right? So he can show us something at training camp. It's kind of hard to get somebody now, right? You get somebody now. He don't have training camp to really do anything. I mean, we could use help on defense. But does he, how much better does he make the team? Is he I just want Makuba to be healthy. I want a healthy Makuba out there week 1. That's what I would love to see. But shout out to Terrell Glover, always showing love to the channel. David said, do not bring Eddie Sanders on my team. Draft Junkie said, Tanner and pick 32 from the Saints for the Saints first. Oh, you're saying pick 32? Like if we win the Super Bowl again type shit. Interesting. RC3 said Makuba hurt. I mean, the second to last day of training camp, he pulled another hamstring, tried to get back out there and practice, and couldn't practice. And then the training camp day finale, he was in street clothes. So we haven't got the update. The last thing I know, which was what? Thursday was the last. On Wednesday, he was practicing on Wednesday, pulled a hammy, tried to stay in practice, couldn't stay in practice, didn't practice on Thursday, wasn't playing against the Jets on Friday. Here we are on Sunday, and I'm hoping that the hammy's not bad, but you know, with hamstring injuries, it could be not horrible, it could be horrible. So, and it sucks because the dude missed the early part of camp, then came back and showed us this dude got some swag, and now he pulled another hammy. I need to see Makuba healthy, you know? But look, Cooper DeJean had hamstring injuries in camp. Took a little bit to get right. Missed a couple games in the regular season. But then guess what? That man never got hurt again. So injuries are weird, fickle. Like, I don't really ever like to label somebody injury prone because it's always freak accidents. Now, there are some people who like just stay on IR type shit. But we'll see. Joseph Philly Mike, is there another move coming, or does Howie wait until the major cuts are made on Tuesday? I think it'd be smart to wait till Tuesday. Howie is very calculated with his decisions. I'd wait till Tuesday, see what's out there, and if nothing else is out there, then go ahead and make a calculated trade and or signing, blah, blah, blah. Because you got to remember, back in the day, every single preseason game, you had to make a certain amount of cuts. So you come to preseason game 1 with 93 or 90 some players. By the time you get to preseason game 2, you have about 79, 80 players. By preseason game 3, you have about 60 to 70 players. Then by preseason game 4, you're at the end, that following Tuesday, you're at 53. Now it's not like that. You could keep that 90-man roster preseason game 1, 2, 3, and on Tuesday, you got to go from 90 to 53. That means 37 people will be cut from each football team, including our own. Now, if we're cutting people on our team, we don't want them because we cut them. But whatever 31 times 37 is, let's pull out the good old calculator. 31 times 37. So on Tuesday, 1,147 people will lose their jobs. It's a sad day for NFL, right? Like, as much as, we care about the starters and all that, it's always sad to see somebody who was working, it's their lives. We're not going to just play with their lives like that. But yes, 1,147 people will be open on the market. Now, some of them will get jobs elsewhere. But that's the thing. If I'm Howie, I gotta sneeze. I wait until Tuesday, see what the 1,100 newly acquired free agents look like, and then from there start to see, all right, am I going to sign Justin Simmons? Am I going to sign Stephon Gilmore? Am I going to trade for a Denzel Ward? Am I going to trade for a Tyreek Woolen? Am I going to trade for Patrick Surtain? No, just kidding. ain't no way. We trade for Patrick Surtain. That's crazy. That shit would be crazy. Coop, Quinion, and Surtain. Eesh. But yeah, now we just throwing shit out there. I mean, not you, me. I was just playing with y'all anyways. That's what the chat is saying. They talking about Shiloh Sanders being waived. Some people like him, some people don't. Shout out to Double A, who's been a member for 10 months. Hey, Philly Mike, it's been 10 months. I'm so excited for the season. Glad to have you back. Eagle football is always better with you. It's not just better with me. It's definitely better when you are in the building too, whether it's a video you commenting on, a live stream like this, but Double A, make sure you come through for them live play-by-plays. We back in action. And I know I missed a couple games last year. Everybody, I want to let y'all know. Last year, I was doing the live play-by-plays, and then at the end of the season, I kind of fell off because my son and I were going to games, and he was wanting to watch them with me, and he's still going to watch them, but his schedule's weird this season, so we won't be going to many games, and I will be doing the live play-by-play every single Eagles game here, so come through with your boy. Again, even if you're watching it on your own TV, some people watch it because they can't watch it, and or they're on the road or working, blah, 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 blah. But some people have the game on this TV and Philly Mike on their iPad or their iPhone or their Android, because sometimes the announcers are just boring. Or even if you have the announcers up, it's great to be. Some people watch with a bunch of people. Some people are busy and they're watching it by themselves or just with a couple people at their house. But having Philly Mike on pretty much is like you invited me over to your crib. So you're going to know what I think about the game. I'm going to know what you think about the game. And you also going to know what the chat. Some of y'all been rocking with Philly Mike for a minute to where y'all know each other. You got, Ryan talking to Michael and Moves Brown talking to Sean Taylor. Y'all got y'all have your own conversations in there too. But shout out to Ryan B with the $5 super chat. Build up and sell one what? Build up and sell one good game is all it takes. A possible better reward. Build up and sell one good game is all it takes. A possible better reward. Shout out to the super chat, and it makes sense, but I don't know if you're referring that to like Tanner McKee, but build up and sell one game. He did week 18. It's all it takes. A possible better reward. Or you're talking about the 1,100 people losing their jobs. I don't know. But shout out to Ryan for the donation. No, I appreciate it, Brody. Double A said the lies be lit. You already know. You part of the reason why the lies be lit. Damn, Moose Brown said Montrell Johnson Jr. over Shipley. I agree. What? I'm awake starting this? Sheesh. I'm awake. Are you sure? I know you be awake for a lot of shit, but that's a crazy one to me. I mean, I like what Montrell Johnson was doing this preseason, but really? Just going to throw Shipley away like that? Well, that Clemson tape for Shipley is legit. Legit. Dang, he's starting a agenda. And he got Moose Brown that's co-signed that shit already. Sheesh. I feel you, bro. I'm awake. I must be asleep right now. You know what I mean? I must be asleep. I respect the hot take, though. Junko says Shipley making moves in camp. Not going to lie, man. Look, he showed y'all again. It was against the Browns, but he said that, he only had that one big run, but we didn't get to see much of him in training in preseason because of what the Eagles believe in him as what do you call it? As RB2 possibly. Davis and McKee going to have to do something in the regular season to have real value. Carving up the Bengals trash bag defensive preseason game is not that. I think everybody forgets the Giants game. And not only was it Giants defense, where again, the Giants were not good last year, but it wasn't like their defense was horrible. Their offense was trash. Their defense was still solid. And he did that with backups against starters. That's, to me, the biggest notch on his belt is that win versus the Giants with the Eagles backups against their starters. Jeremiah Badger said, Philly Mike, how do you feel about Keely Ringo not doing good in training camp? It's absolutely disappointing. I am so disappointing in what Keely Ringo did. The man was the favorite to win cornerback 2. He was believed in by Nick, Howie, and Fangio. And he let us all down. It's absolutely horrible. It actually makes Howie Roseman not doing anything possible to get back Slay or keep Rodgers a bad move on Howie's part. But Vic Fangio must have told him something like, Howie, I would like Slay back or Rodgers, but it's okay. Ringo got it. And he just don't got it. Or he didn't get it. It's demoralizing. Dark Brown says Ship is studying at Berkeley University. Okay, I'm with you on that. Hey, I ain't mad at that too. The Mad said, I usually turn on it live right after the W. Some people want to watch it by themselves because they go crazy like Philly Mike. If they're going crazy, they don't need another guy going crazy. I ain't mad at that as well. Sometimes people don't watch it because I'm in front of them or behind them too. So, but at least you come through, Brody. I appreciate it. Unique said Ringo's been here too long to mess up that position. I'm sick about it. A Unique Cross. We both the same. I'm admit, man. That the dude had a golden opportunity. I'm sick too. I get all choked up. I ain't got really words for it. Kaylee. Look. Lord have mercy. Trey said, nah, that's crazy. I see flashes of Saquon and Shipley. Okay, the white Saquon? He said, not saying he's ever going to be that good, but he plays the best like him for a young, he plays the best and for a young guy. Okay. We going to hey, listen, I'm awake. Montrell Johnson at least better hang around on the practice squad. Taco Star said, Mike, we knew this was coming. Ringo was trash, and we all knew it. People were wishful thinking on that guy. I got to give it to you, Taco. I mean, I can't say nothing. There were a lot of you telling me to give it up. A lot of y'all were telling me to give it up. Y'all were telling me to give it up. So I can't. You're right. You're right. Juco said, I think Jacorian Bennett, Jacorian and my sleeper, Mac McWilliams, are going to be very good players. I do too. I think Jacorian Bennett is going to be the starting cornerback too. Unless we make a big-ass move, trade or signing. This is my take on cornerback 2 now. If there's no signing or trade, week 1, it's going to be Adoree Jackson. Am I happy about it? No. But I think week 1, it's going to be Adoree Jackson out there. Now, I don't know exactly what week it will happen, but the following couple weeks, whether it's week 3, 5, 6, Jacorian Bennett, again, if no trades and or signings, will take over quarterback 2 and be the starter. Again, similar to Cooper DeJean. First of all, Cooper DeJean was a great prospect out of Iowa, our second-round pick. The difference was he got hurt in training camp and missed a bunch of time. Jacorian Bennett didn't get hurt. He just got here late. So I think, like that situation, someone else is going to be this, like Vontae Maddox was a slot. Couple games, Coop got his feet right, and then became the slot. I think Adoree Jackson is going to be the cornerback 2 early on, and it will be Jacorian Bennett. That's pending something nice, something trade worthy. You know what I mean? That's my take. And again, I ain't super happy with Adoree Jackson going up against George Pickens week 1 on primetime. Everybody watching. It's going to be the most watched game of the whole regular season. Now, Fangio's Fangio's a GOAT. So Fangio's going to roll coverage, put a safety over top, maybe not blitz that much, so he's not on an island. Fangio's going to do whatever he can to dress it up and help out Adoree. But that's the position we're going to be watching every single game. Trey said, if it ain't Bennett, I ain't with it. I'm awake said McWilliams over Nickerson. Respect. Nickerson is 30 years old. Like, I like what he did this offseason, but he's 30, so there's not much more upside. That's who he is. Junko said, I'm 100% with you. Spam said, yo, what the bleep is Howie doing? Did he hit his head again? We are training for offensive players when our secondary looks like Swiss cheese. I hear you, Brody. Trade the other quarterbacks for picks? We'll see. Vaughn said, it might be McWilliams with them saying Vic like what he's seeing from him. Don't sleep on it. I think Bennett will be it, but don't sleep on McWilliams. Simply how training camp went. Early in training camp, Fangio was only utilizing Mac McWilliams in a slot. As training camp went on, and the real Keely Ringo showed Fangio little by little that he ain't ready. Fangio started taking Mac McWilliams from the slot and putting him at outside corner with the 3s, then with the 2s. And at the end of training camp, he was with the 2s, but he was even getting low-key first-team reps a couple times. As Keely went all the way to the doghouse, pun intended. Damn, that shit breaks my soul talking about my boy Ringo like that. Ringo! It's like, nah. Artificial on the track said, "What up, Philly Mike? Excited for the upcoming season. You and me both. Shout out to my guy who's been rocking with me for a long time." Mookie said, "Go get Shiloh Sanders." Yo, a lot of people have been talking about Shiloh Sanders since he's been waived. Let me know in the chat. Who would like to sign Shiloh Sanders? Let me know. Yes, no on Shiloh Sanders. I want to see where y'all are. How the divide is. Some of y'all said no, some of y'all said yes. Would y'all sign Shiloh Sanders? First one that answered said Show Gamer said yes. Rico said no. Saint said no. Eddie said bleep no. Davis said no. Okay, so I thought it was. I saw a couple people say it, so I thought there was more people who wanted them. Said no. Brian said no. Vaughn said yes. Good depth piece. Chiquita said no. Junko said Shiloh or Asante. I'm with it. He said he runs a 4.52. Sheesh. Eagle Nation said heck no. All right, so there's definitely more no's than. Oh lordy. I love y'all. So y'all keep it. I love it. It's just funny. I like it. Whether we agree with each other, rock with each other's statement. I mean, we all keep it funky though. You know what I mean? And nobody should get their feelings hurt. You know what I mean? You can always say no to somebody without being super mean to them. But yo, we just Philly love. We got that tough love. You know what I mean? Oh Lord. He said we don't need the publicity. That's a thing that a lot of people have been talking about. I don't want to prop it up too much because I'm already too hurt. I don't got that many more Ringo takes left for me. You know what I mean? Because you know me, I was holding on dear. I was holding on to dear life on the Ringo take. So I don't want to attach my name to that so much, but a lot of people were talking about that, right? I wonder if moving Ringo to safety would be better. I don't think we have. I mean, at this point, it wouldn't hurt to try it, at least in practice and whatnot. Fourth, if he's like a third string safety, okay, whatever. It wouldn't hurt to try it. His biggest knock is flipping his hips, right? Playing facing the ball, you don't got to flip your hips as much. So at that point, and again, look, when Keeley came out the draft, some draft analysts said that he should play safety. He's big, he's fast, he's physical. He got the body frame for it. He can't flip his hips, which is bad hips is better for a safety than a corner. I would try it, but I'm not banking on it like it's going to save his career type shit. I already lost enough sleep defending Ringo. Marina said Gilmore graded at a 93 last year. Sheesh, I didn't know it was that high. I do know he has more meat left on the bone. I know he has gas left in the tank, however you want to say it. Eagles Playbook Podcast said, I want Ringo off the stage. Ringo. Y'all got you're not cutting no slack for Ringo. Lord. Ringo can't find the ball? I mean, yeah, you need your safety to be able to find the ball too, though. Hold up. Gen 50. I don't know if he plays timid, like as it pertains to contact, because Ringo actually was a really good gunner on special teams. And you can't be a good gunner if you're afraid of contact. I agree with you. I'm away. They're not going to cut him because of his special teams and just because they want to save face for the Philly dogs. Hold on. I got to sneeze so bad and it won't come out. Sheesh. Drip said, moving Ringo to safety is basically like giving up on him, right? Remember, we did the same thing, same exact thing that James Bradbury. It's a little different, though. James Bradbury was a guy who played corner for a while. He was with the Panthers, he was with the Giants, and he's with the Eagles. He was an older player who moved to safety because he couldn't do cornerback no more. Some people said that Ringo should have been a safety from the gate. From the gate. So it's a little different there. Uh-oh. Breaking news. It's like, nah, let me stop. We already had our Shiloh conversation, and didn't go well with the chat, so. Oh, Lordy. Pause. Brian hit me with the pause. I appreciate it. It's for saving me on that one. Last time I said pause in here, some other guy was like, dude's corny. He said pause. My boy Quez been calling for. Oh, Quez. Oh, what up, Kev? Yeah, so shout out to Kev and shout out to Eagles Playbook Podcast. They be rocking together. Go check out their YouTube stuff too. Yeah. Quez is one of the hosts of the Eagles, is the host of the Eagles Playbook Podcast. And he don't Ringo. He don't mess with that dude. Gen 50 said, Philly Mike wants to be right about Ringo. Sorry, we've been Ringoed. He got that ring off us last year. Y'all be killing me in the chat, though, for real. He a special teamer. He forced that fumble that one time. Oh, no. Who? It was against the Jaguars. It was Sidney Brown who forced a fumble, but guess who recovered it? Ringo. Put some respect on his special teams name. Lord. He's our best special team player on the team, bro. I can't. Let me defend him on special teams at least. Come on. Oh shit. I love y'all. Y'all probably gonna hate me, but let's go get Micah Parsons. Defense will be dope. I don't disagree with that statement that the defense would be great with Micah Parsons on there. He's a good player. But I don't know. Something about all this shit he be bringing to teams. Like, well, he only been on the Cowboys, but I don't know. As much as I like to play, I don't know if he will just kind of mess up Philly. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He a dog. But can he be a dog? He might be a dog, but he gonna have to follow suit. The Eagles are a high class organization. You know what I mean? It's in a clown show like the Cowboys have. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody in the building. We rock with y'all. Gen 50, I appreciate it. Draft Junkie said I give up 4 picks for Parsons. It would be 2026 picks, 32 and 64, and 2027 picks, 32 at 64. Yeah, that's right. I like how he keeps saying 32 in 2026 and 32 in 2027. Draft Junkie got us winning back-to-back Super Bowls. Jersey born Philly fan 72 with the $5 super chat. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. He said, good trade. Howell played pretty good against us a couple times. Pretty good. Can't read. Good trade. Howell played pretty good against us a couple oftentimes. Better than Thompson and McCord. Go Birds. Yeah, so again, that's what, for anybody who's just tuning in, we've been live for an hour and 24 minutes. If y'all know how I work, this is how I work. In videos, since I can't talk to y'all because it's a recorded video, I stay on topic of the video's title. In a live stream, the first 10 minutes, I give you my take. 10 to 15 minutes, I do all the talking on my take about the title, which was the Eagles just traded for Sam Howell. After that, I hear what y'all say for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Once we pass that 30, 40-minute mark, whatever the chat is talking about is where the conversation goes. So that's why it's always weird for somebody probably who just looked on YouTube, sees the title of this, which is what? The Eagles just traded for quarterback Sam Howell. They come up in here and we talking about Micah Parsons. For anybody just tuning in, that's when you go back and restart it and listen to what I said in the beginning. You know what I mean? Or just have your notification bell hit so you can be rocking with the early crew. The early bird gets the worm. But shout out to Jersey Born for dropping a super chat. It's much appreciated. And I agree with you. Good trade. Howell is better than DTR, who will be cut. Kyle McCord, who will be put on this practice squad. And right now, this is what we talked about, Jersey Born. If Jalen Hurts got hurt in week 1 and had to miss the rest of the game, who would we put in? If Tanner McKee's finger is still bad, it would have to be Kyle McCord. Hell no. Rather be Sam Howell. The other foot that we took, the other scenario we talked about is, could this mean Howie might be willing to hear offers for Tanner McKee? I think it's insurance until Tanner McKee's finger gets better. But some people in the chat said, what if we get a really good trade offer for Tanner McKee? Now we move off Tanner McKee. What Philly would be upset because we all love him. Best quarterback QB2 in the game. But if we get great compensation, would it be worth it? Because now you have Sam Howell as a decent backup. You just got the most value you're ever going to get for Tanner McKee. Maybe we utilize it for a cornerback too, or a really good draft guy next year. But I'm saying there are the two scenarios, and both are in the realm of possibility. Both are in the realm of possibility. I think we're keeping Tanner, and this is insurance until he gets better, because Kyle McCord is not ready and DTR is about to get cut. But some people think, and it ain't out the realm of possibilities, that we move off trade Tanner, whose value is as good as it's going to be, get great compensation, and you still have a decent backup. Just saying. David Archer with the $2 super chat. Would you trade McKinney for Kool-Aid McKinstry? Would you trade McKinney for Kool-Aid McKinney? Or would you trade for McKinney? I liked him out of the draft. All depends what we got to give up, David Archer. Appreciate the super chat though. As long as I would trade for any player, but it all depends on what we got to give up. My guy said, S said, who did we trade to the Vikings? Let me read it for you one more time. I got to sneeze. The Vikings are trading quarterback Sam Howell plus a 2026 6th-round pick to the Eagles for a 2026 5th-round pick plus a 2027 7th-round pick. So pretty much, we're giving them a 2026 5th. We're swapping a 5th-round pick for a 6th-round pick, and Sam Howell for a 7th-round pick in 2027. So we go back around in 2026, and we give up a 7th-rounder in 2027, and we get a viable quarterback. I saw you, Tiffany. What'd she say first? I saw her. She said she put that mean face in. Tiffany was meaning business on this. What'd she say? There it is. Hell no. We need to keep Tanner. Hey, if Tiffany talks, I gotta listen, you heard? She put that mean face in there. She's making sure Philly Mike stop talking about that. Joe said Tanner is only one bad play away from starting. Whoa. Oh, all right. Injury-wise. I thought you meant like bench-wise. I'm about to say for a second. Dre said, not gonna lie, Howell is a decent and was almost a starter for the Commanders. Mobile, and he has decent accuracy. I agree. That's why people think, could the Eagles be listening to offers for? Don't want to say it again before Tiffany come at me again. You know what I mean? It's all good, though. It's tough love. Tough love. I wouldn't have it any other way. Brain said, it's crazy because Howell been traded twice this offseason. They just tossing this man around. Treating him like the ugly stepchild. Doctor said, why we draft McCord? Terrible. I mean, look, he has not played good, but he is a rookie. You do got to give him the rookie benefit of the doubt. All right. What we saw in training camp or in preseason was awful. I do not disagree with you, doctor. You could even use the word terrible. However, he is a rookie. They're going to probably still stash him on the practice squad and hope he develops, but he's not ready to play. And if Tanner McKee's finger is hurt and Jalen Hurts missed some time early in the season, Tanner McKee can't go in because his fingers hurt still. This is where Sam Howell comes in. Tiffany said Howie Roseman fleeced the Vikings. Pretty much. Rico said we started the emergency quarterback rule, destroying the whiners. Facts. Lynn said he was a rookie, and those were basically all the snaps he got in camp. That's why you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Barbie, the doll princess of YouTube, said, and Howie we trust. That's facts. YNG said Sam Howell stats has a starter. As a starter is not bad. 3,947 yards passing, 78.9 passer rating, 21 touchdowns and 21 interceptions. Not bad for a backup. I agree. Hold up, though. We got breaking news from Joe M. Philly Mike. Breaking news. Eagles are still the reigning Super Bowl champs. Just saying. I respect it. Child of God said, yo, can you tell if someone would get better? Kyle is not going to get better. I mean, not everybody gets better, but it doesn't hurt keeping him on the practice squad. The kid is an Eagle fan. Let him be in Philly. The dude grew up an Eagle fan. Cut him some slack. Just kidding. Listen, we've been live for an hour and 32 minutes. If you are just tuning in, go back, watch what I talk about. Is this trade for Sam Howell because insurance while Tanner McKee gets his finger better because DTR is going to be cut, and Kyle McCord is not good? Or is this trade because Howie knows he can fleece somebody and get a real good draft pick that can turn into a cornerback 2 or defensive player if they trade Tanner McKee? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. I'm just kidding. I love y'all to death. We've been live for an hour and 33. Do me a favor. If you just got in here, if you are one of the 672 people who haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. And it's greatly appreciated. I'm about to end this, but if you're just tuning in, go back, rewind it, watch the first 25 minutes where we talk about, is it insurance or for trade bait? I love y'all. I love DBZ as well. And again, notification so you're here when we're actually talking about the good stuff. Also, when I drop videos and do giveaways and all that shit, I love y'all to death. Said that 100 times. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out. Peace.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.